The office door slammed against the wall as Lily May burst through, clutching a crumpled newspaper clipping in her dirt-stained fingers. Sheriff Tom Garrison looked up from his desk, where his badge lay tarnished beside it. Empty coffee cup and 3 unopened letters from the VA. You killed 17 men. Overseas. Her voice cut through the stale air like broken glass. Tom's hand froze halfway to his coffee. That's what the paper says. They called you a hero. She threw the clipping onto his desk. The headline read, "Local War Hero Returns Home," in bold letters above his younger, cleaner face. I came back. That's all. My mama didn't come back. Lily May's eyes burned with tears she refused to shed. And you know why. Tom's fingers found the bottle of whiskey he kept in his bottom drawer. 10 in the morning was too early, but his hands were already shaking. Your mama died in an accident, child. Car went off Miller's Bridge 3 weeks ago. Liar. The case is closed. She couldn't drive. Never learned. Lily May pulled a mud-stained envelope from her coat pocket. But somebody drove her there. The envelope hit his desk with a wet sound. Inside, handwriting he recognized from dozens of incident reports over the years. Sarah Beth's careful script, now smeared with dirt and what might have been tears. Where did you find this? Hidden in our kitchen wall, behind Mama's good china. Lily May's voice cracked. The china she never used because she was saving it for when Daddy came home from his drinking. Tom opened the letter with trembling fingers. The words swam before his eyes. If something happens to me, check the old Whitmore well. Tell Lily May I tried to be brave like the soldiers. Tell her Governor Hayes can't keep burying the truth. The whiskey bottle slipped from his hand, shattering against the floor. Governor Hayes, who'd given him this job when he came home broken and sleepless. Hayes, who owned half the county and the other half's debts. She knew, didn't she? Lily May whispered. About whatever you're all hiding. Tom stared at his tarnished badge. Remembering when it used to shine, Tom's patrol car crawled down the gravel road toward Miller's Bridge, his hands gripping the wheel too tightly. The morning sun cast long shadows through the trees, but all he could see was Lily May's face. That look of knowing. That look of disappointment. The bridge stretched over the muddy creek like a broken promise. Yellow police tape still fluttered from the guardrail where Sarah Beth's car had gone through. Tom parked and walked to the edge, boots crunching on broken glass the cleanup crew had missed. 17 men. The words echoed in his head. 17 men and 1 woman. The math didn't add up anymore. That he knelt beside the guardrail, running his fingers along the metal. Deep scratches gouged the paint. Not impact damage. Deliberate. Like someone had taken a crowbar to it before the crash. You missed this. Tommy. Governor Hayes's voice drifted back from 2 years ago, in the psychiatric ward where Tom had spent 6 months after coming home. Good men need second chances. I can give you purpose again. A badge. A chance to serve your community. I can't sleep. You will. Time heals all wounds. I killed 17 people. You served your country. Now serve your people. But which people? Tom stood, staring at the scratched metal. The people in the governor's pocket, or the people getting buried under his lies? Wind whistled through the bridge supports, carrying something that sounded like Sarah Beth's voice. Check the well, Tommy. Check the well before they bury the truth with me. He closed his eyes, feeling the weight of his badge like a stone in his chest. 2 years ago, Hayes had saved him from the nightmares, given him a reason to get up every morning. But standing here, looking at evidence his own department had overlooked, Tom wondered if he'd traded one war for another. The scratches told a story. Sarah Beth hadn't driven off this bridge. She'd been pushed. And somewhere in town, her killer was walking free because Tom had been too broken to see the truth. I'm sorry, Sarah Beth, he whispered to the wind. I'm so damn sorry. The Whitmore property looked like God had forgotten it existed. Tom's patrol car crunched over dead leaves and broken bottles as he pulled up to the old stone well. Lily May was already there, sitting on the crumbling edge with a rope coiled in her lap. You came. Against my better judgment. Tom climbed out, his badge catching the afternoon light. This is private property. Used to be my great-uncle's property. Before he died broke and alone. Lily May stood, testing the rope's strength. Mama said he lost at gambling. But Mama lied about a lot of things. Tom approached the well, peering into its black mouth. What exactly are we looking for? Truth. She tied the rope around her waist. You going to help me? Or you going to arrest me? Depends what we find. Lily May lowered herself into the well while Tom held the rope. Her voice echoed up from the darkness. There's something wrapped in oilcloth down here, tied to the old bucket. Can you reach it? Got it. The rope jerked as she climbed back up, clutching a waterproof bundle against her chest. Tom helped her over the edge. Inside the oilcloth were dozens of documents. Land deeds, forged signatures, bank transfers, all bearing the same name at the bottom. Marcus Hayes. Tom's stomach dropped. The governor's brother. He's been stealing land for years. Look, Lily May spread the papers on the well's stone edge. Every family that couldn't pay their taxes. Every widow who couldn't afford a lawyer. He'd buy their debt, forge their signatures, then claim their property. Tom studied the documents with growing horror. The Henderson farm, the Garcia homestead, the old Miller place. All seized illegally, all now part of Marcus Hayes's expanding empire. Your mother found these. She was cleaning houses for rich folks, including Marcus Hayes. Lily May's voice turned bitter. She saw him burning papers one night, decided to save a few from the fire, and he killed her for it. He killed her because she was going to expose him, because she was tired of watching families lose everything while the Hayes brothers got richer. Lily May folded the documents carefully, because she wanted her daughter to inherit something better than fear. The well's darkness seemed to reach up toward them, hungry for more secrets. But the truth was finally climbing toward the light. Lily May's house leaned against the wind like it was tired of standing. Inside, her mother's belongings covered every surface. Knitted blankets draped over broken furniture. Family photos in cracked frames. A Bible held together with tape and prayers. Tom sat at the kitchen table, watching Lily May pull more documents from beneath loose floorboards. Her movements were precise, determined. No wasted motion. No self-pity. How many more hiding places did your mother have? She learned to be careful. Said the truth needed multiple graves in case someone found one. Lily May spread new papers across the table. Bank records. Hayes was laundering money through fake charities. Tom studied the documents, his hands steadier than they'd been in months. Your mother was braver than most soldiers I knew. What happened to you over there? The question hung between them like smoke. Tom's eyes found a photo on the wall. Sarah Beth is holding an infant Lily May, both of them smiling. IED took out half my unit. I was supposed to die with them. But you didn't. Survivor's guilt. PTSD. Couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't function. Tom's voice dropped to a whisper. Hayes found me in the VA hospital. Said he needed a sheriff who understood sacrifice. He used your pain against you. He gave me purpose when I had none. A badge when I felt worthless. Tom looked at his hands. I thought I was serving justice. Turns out I was just another weapon in his arsenal. Lily May sat across from him, her young face old with wisdom earned through loss. My mother didn't die, so you could feel sorry for yourself. I know. Those 17 men you killed overseas. They died fighting for something. For people who couldn't fight for themselves. Her voice carried the weight of her mother's conviction. What would they think of you now? Tom felt something shift in his chest. A loosening of the guilt that had wrapped around his heart like barbed wire. They'd want me to fight. Then fight. Lily May reached across the table, her fingers touching his wrist. Not for Hayes. Not for your guilt. For the families he's destroying. Outside, wind chimes sang in Sarah Beth's voice, blessing her daughter's words. Governor Hayes's mansion sat on the hill like a tumor, all white columns and false promises. Tom climbed the marble steps with Sarah Beth's documents clutched in his fist, his badge feeling heavier with each footfall. Hayes answered the door himself, dressed in silk pajamas despite the afternoon hour. Sheriff Garrison, to what do I owe the pleasure? We need to talk. Of course. Come in. Hayes led him through rooms filled with stolen wealth. Artwork from foreclosed homes. Furniture from bankrupt families. Drink. Your brother killed Sarah Beth. Tom threw the documents onto Hayes's mahogany desk, and you covered it up. Hayes poured himself whiskey, his movements calm and practiced. That's quite an accusation. I have proof. You have papers. Papers can be forged. Hayes sipped his drink, studying Tom over the glass rim. Just like discharge papers can be amended, just like pension benefits can be revoked. Tom's hands clenched into fists. You threatening me? I'm reminding you of your position. A broken soldier with PTSD who couldn't tell reality from nightmares. Hayes set down his glass. Who'd believe you? The families your brother robbed would believe me. What families? The ones who signed legal documents transferring their property? The ones who gambled away their inheritances? Hayes smiled like a snake tasting prey. I own this county, Sheriff. The bank, the newspaper, half the town council. Even your deputy takes my money. The words hit Tom like shrapnel. Marcus told you about Sarah Beth. My brother panicked. Said some cleaning woman was asking questions, taking photos. Hayes shrugged. I told him to handle it quietly. So you murdered her. We protected our interests. Just like you protected American interests in Afghanistan. Hayes leaned forward. How many children died in those drone strikes you called in, Sheriff? How many families destroyed for the greater good? Tom saw the connection now. The same cold calculation. The same justification for innocent blood. Hayes wasn't just corrupt. He was the enemy Tom had spent years fighting overseas, wrapped in an American flag. You're no different than the terrorists. I'm exactly like them. And so are you. Hayes picked up his phone. One call ends your pension, your medical benefits, your reputation. Choose wisely. Tom looked at his badge one last time, then placed it on Hayes's desk. I already chose. Tom's patrol car skidded to a halt outside the sheriff's office as two black SUVs boxed him in. Marcus Hayes stepped out with three men carrying guns like they knew how to use them. Sheriff's office is closed for business. Tom pushed Lily Mae behind him. Get inside. Call the state police. No signal. They cut the phone lines. Lily Mae clutched the documents against her chest. We're trapped. Not trapped. Cornered. Tom drew his service weapon, muscle memory taking over. There's a difference. Marcus advanced with his men flanking him. My brother wants his property back, and he wants the witnesses eliminated. Which witnesses? All of them. The first shot shattered the office window. Tom shoved Lily Mae through the doorway as bullets chewed up the wooden frame. Inside, he overturned his desk for cover, his training flooding back like a tide. How many rounds you got? Lily Mae crawled to the gun cabinet, her hands surprisingly steady. 15 in the clip. You know how to shoot. Mama taught me before she died. Lily Mae grabbed a shotgun, checking the chambers. Said a woman alone needs teeth. The front door exploded inward. Tom put 2 rounds center mass into the first man through, dropping him instantly. Lily Mae's shotgun roared, taking down the second. But Marcus kept coming. You killed my cleaning lady for nothing. Marcus's voice carried over the gunfire. Governor's already got new documents. Cleaner forgeries. Then why kill us? Because you made it personal. Tom felt the bullet punch through his vest, spinning him against the wall. Blood spread across his uniform like spilled ink. But his aim stayed true. Marcus Hayes crumpled with a hole in his chest, surprise frozen on his face. Lily Mae knelt beside Tom as sirens wailed in the distance. State police. Must have heard the shooting. Tom's voice came out weak, but his eyes stayed clear. The documents? Safe. She pressed them into his hands. What do I tell them? Tell them the truth. Tom looked at his badge, finally clean after years of tarnish. Tell them Sheriff Tom Garrison remembered how to be a soldier. The office was filled with light as emergency vehicles arrived. Lily Mae stood in the doorway, holding the evidence that would return stolen land to its rightful owners. Behind her, Tom's badge caught the light one last time. The cemetery stretched across the hillside like a field of broken promises, but today felt different. Today felt like redemption. Tom Garrison's funeral drew the biggest crowd the town had seen in years. Families who'd lost their land stood beside families who'd gotten it back. The truth had a way of bringing people together. Lily Mae stood at the graveside in her mother's black dress, holding two things: Sarah Beth's final letter and Tom's clean badge. The state police had cleared his name. The newspapers called him a hero again. This time they got it right. Sheriff Garrison asked me to read something. The crowd quieted as Lily Mae unfolded her mother's letter. The same handwriting that had started everything. The same courage that had ended it. Bravery isn't killing 17 men in a foreign war. Bravery is getting up every morning when you want to stay in bed. Bravery is speaking truth when lies are safer. Bravery is choosing to fight when you've already lost everything. Lily Mae's voice carried across the graves. My mama wrote that 2 days before she died. She knew what was coming. An old man stepped forward. Henry Whitmore, whose family had lost their farm 3 generations ago. The state gave us our land back. All of us. Governor Hayes is in federal prison. His brother's dead. The stolen deeds are void. Lily Mae folded the letter carefully. Justice took its time, but it got here. The crowd began to disperse, families walking together toward futures that finally belonged to them. Lily Mae remained by Tom's grave, holding his badge up to catch the sunlight. Heroes aren't born, Sheriff. They're chosen. One decision at a time. One moment of courage when everything else says run. She pinned the badge to her coat, where it would stay. Thank you for remembering who you were. Wind moved through the cemetery trees, carrying the voices of the dead towards something that sounded like peace. Sarah Beth's spirit walked with her daughter down the hill, finally free.